What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel, where we talk all things boxing. Remember always to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, put it on all so you get notified of all latest content as and when it drops on the channel. So let's get into this one. So it's finally here, fight week. We are just days away from the big card in Saudi Arabia, the day of reckoning, where you have literally a who's who of the heavyweight division. The only two big names missing are Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury, and that's only because they're going to be fighting in the same place, but just 2024, which is also around the corner. So just going to talk about the fight that I think is going to be headlining. It's between Anthony Joshua and Otto Wallin. So these are guys that have boxed as amateurs. Anthony Joshua got the better of Otto Wallin in the amateurs. But lately, Otto Wallin, he seems to be full of confidence. Um, he had a good victory over the former cruiserweight champion of the world in his last fight. So he's coming off a decent run of form. And Anthony Joshua is in the kind of rebuilding process. There's a lot of uncertainty about Anthony Joshua. He's been switching coaches. Of course, he's been with Derek James. He's been with before that Garcia as well, Robert Garcia, and he's in this stage where it's kind of a transitional phase of his career. So for this fight, interestingly, he's going to have Ben Davison in his corner. Now, Ben Davison first sort of came to the forefront for me after working with Tyson Fury for Tyson Fury's first fight with Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. And I thought he done a good job in that fight. Tyson Fury basically outboxed Deontay Wilder. Very, very unlucky to just get the draw in that fight. Most people thought he won that fight. So Ben Davison proving himself to be a decent coach. His other success with Lee Wood, not so successful with Josh Taylor. So he's a coach that's very technical. He breaks things down. He really does go into depth in analyzing fights, analyzing fighters. So it's an interesting scenario here because you would common sense would tell you, why is Joshua not with Derek James? Surely that's the coach he's been working with and etc. etc. He's been making little improvements under Derek James. He's not a finished article, but he's making improvement. But at the same time, I think Ben Davidson, while it seems to just have come out of left field, I think they have been working together for quite a bit while Joshua's been in England. And I think the analytical mind of Ben Davison and the kind of style he has where he's one of those individuals that does like to think things through and does like to give like step by step instructions. He's really thorough in what he does. I think that will probably suit Anthony Joshua because Anthony Joshua obviously don't know him personally at all, but he seems to be one of those guys that does overthink things and does think very deeply about fights and about what he should be doing. So I think that matchup with him and Ben Davison, that hookup, might actually work for him because Ben Davison really does like to analyze and break things down. Anthony Joshua does seem to need things broken down to him step by step, and he does want that assurance, and he does sort of think quite deeply. So I think that might suit him. I'm hoping for him that suits him. Whereas Otto Wallin, on the other hand, he's coming into this off of good wins in his career. He's a fighter where talented guy, but he's most well known for pushing Tyson Fury, for cutting Tyson Fury's face, and had it been in perhaps another country, that fight might have been stopped. So bad was the cut on Tyson Fury's face. He's a good southpaw. He's quite slick. He's not a big puncher, as many others have noticed. He's more of a slashing puncher, a puncher that can cut your face. He's not a devastating one punch knockout artist, but he's a tricky southpaw, likes to move a lot, and he's very technically proficient and very technically sound in his approach to boxing. Good guy. And for me personally, I think Anthony Joshua probably wins this fight. And I pick Anthony Joshua to win this fight on points. A late stoppage wouldn't surprise me, but it's just the way I've been seeing Anthony Joshua fight lately. He's kind of thinking quite a lot about what he's doing. He's a bit hesitant to pull the trigger sometimes. So it's like, as much as yes, he's got the attributes, he's got the power to put this guy away. In my opinion, I think he's going to be a little bit more safety first in this fight, and I think he's just going to do it the safe way and just do some damage, and is going to be aggressive with Otto Wallin. If I'm sure Ben Davis and them have done their homework, and I think with Otto Wallin, what you got to do with him, you got to really pressure him. You got to get him under the cosh, try to hurt him from early on in the fight, and put your stamp your authority on the fight. Don't give him anywhere to run. Try to go to his body early and try to slow him down. But in this one, for me, Joshua's got to be aggressive. He can't let Otto Wallin sort of be skirting around the ring and doing what he needs to do, sort of peppering AJ with shots. I know that is what Wallin needs to do. He needs to keep it long, use the southpaw jab, always be moving to the right, get your right foot on the outside of Joshua's left foot, and just outbox Joshua. That's what Wallin's got to try and do. But I think Joshua, they would have done their homework, and I picked Joshua to be able to cut the ring off, go to the body of Otto Wallin earlier, and just finish this one on points by unanimous decision. The hope for it, as I like AJ, fan of his work, and the best result for him really would be something like a late stoppage where he goes a few rounds, perhaps struggles a bit, but he gets Wallin out of there. That's probably the result that will be best for him. But in my opinion, going by recent performances, I think it's going to be Joshua on points. I think he's going to do enough to beat Wallin on points, and perhaps he won't quite go for it. But I think if he does go for it, if he does show a bit of the old aggression that he used to have, that the risky, taking chances on the front foot, throwing bombs, letting your hands go. If Joshua goes back to that, then I think Joshua can get this guy out of here. That's what I think on it anyway. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you, like me too, think the same thing, that Joshua probably will have a few difficult rounds because of the southpaw stance, but he comes on strong and he comes on to beat Joshua on points? Maybe you think Joshua will stop him. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on this fight. And until next time, it's MKO Pugilism over and out.